The garden was developed in 1989, created in 1990. It basically consists of 3 areas: a Zen-style garden, a stroll-style garden, and a tea garden. I came in here about 15 years ago and I was handed this garden by the managerial staff at that time. So I asked them, is there any possibility, because it's a very specialized garden, to train in Japan? I enrolled in a company which is one of the biggest companies in Kyoto called Uea Cattle, and I was given the privilege of working with their garden team. So what I've created here is basically a garden within a city, which is what the tea masters created themselves. And Senno Rikyu, who's the most famous tea garden master in Japan, originally did this way back in the 15th century. So the first area here is where you have a garden which is like the side of a mountain. So I'm bringing a garden or the side of a mountain into the city. That's basically what he said. So we have a forest style garden where the people come in, wait before they're called up to the tea ceremony itself. The Zen garden, as I was speaking about earlier, I basically looked at that garden, and with the help of Rhino Rock, who's one of our major sponsors, we redesigned that particular garden, making it into a more modern style garden. So the garden I'm sitting in at the minute is what we call an outer roji. It's basically designed for the tea garden, and the idea of the roji means mountain path. So as you come through the gate, you leave all your troubles behind and you concentrate on the garden and also the stepping stones. I've come to a stage where I can now start to train some of the people who come to Capel. I have a number of volunteers who work with me, who I train. I have a number of students which I help, especially in the design courses, which I then try to explain to them how Japanese gardens were developed, how close they are to nature. But as your skill develops, you learn how the plant grows, how to develop a mature plant, but these plants are kept within a size. The reason we have to do this is, in Japan, land is a premium. You cannot have massive trees and small gardens. The balance and the harmony isn't there. So what I'm taught to do is to keep the size of the tree to within a young dimensions, but I let it mature within those dimensions. So if you come to Capel and have a look around the gardens themselves, you will find that there's a lot of trees there that people look and say, Dave, how do you do this? Because I would love to grow acers. These acers are beautiful. How old are they? I say they're 30, 40 years old, but they're so small. Yes, because there is a technique of controlling the growth. You don't need a great space to create a Japanese garden. You'd start off with maybe looking at an acer. You could look at rocks. You could look at water or stones, which represent dry gardens. So there are little ideas all combined here that you could take away with you and incorporate within your garden. It's getting the balance, the harmony and everything, and the other aspects and the aesthetics to go in the garden itself. Creating that balance, this is what helps people. It helps their minds especially. It gives them this very cultural feeling that, oh, it's so nice in here. I'm so relaxed. This is what I'm trying to achieve here. It's taken a number of years. It will probably take a number of years to complete this work. But hopefully in the long term, we will have a balance in here where people can walk into this garden, relax and enjoy the garden itself.